today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm doing a self-guided Black Dahlia tour through Los Angeles. For those of you who have never heard of the Black Dahlia murder, in 1947 a woman named Elizabeth Short was very brutally murdered in Los Angeles. And I'm not gonna show you photos or give you all the details. If you are interested, I definitely suggest looking it up. There's a show called I Am the Night that's on Hulu, and then there's also a podcast called Root of Evil. So if you're interested in learning more, I definitely suggest checking those out. But basically, a 22-year-old woman named Elizabeth Short was murdered in 1947. I believe she was murdered by a man named George Hodel, and he's one of the biggest suspects of the case. So I'm gonna be taking you guys to a few places. To start, we're gonna go to the place where her body was found, and then later in the day, we're gonna go to the home where she was suspected to have been murdered in, which is called the Sowden House. So first stop is where her body was found, which is a neighborhood called Leimert Park. And I believe now that there is a house on top of where she was found, but in 1947 it was just a big open field. And if you do look at the crime photos, they're very intense, but basically it was a woman with her small child walking past early in the morning, and when she walked past her dead body, she thought it was mannequin parts. So it was very gruesome, and I'm excited to go to this neighborhood because I've never been over here. Another great resource to check out if you're interested in the George Hodel theory is a book called The Black Dahlia Avenger, written by Steve Hodel, which is George Hodel's son, and basically he did a whole investigation on how his dad was the Black Dahlia murder. So that is very interesting, and I highly suggest checking that out. So this is where her body was found. It is now just a house, but probably in this front yard right here. So that's pretty crazy. The next stop doesn't really have much to do with the real life Black Dahlia murder case, but if you watched American Horror Story Season 1, Murder House, then you know that there is a fictional storyline about Elizabeth Short in it. And it does kind of tie into the George Hodel theory because she was murdered by a doctor in American Horror Story. So I think they did kind of take some stuff from that and tied it in. But anyways, if you are interested in this kind of stuff, I'm sure you would like to see the American Horror Story house. So we're gonna stop there since it's really close. So here is the murder house from American Horror Story. Unfortunately, there's this big fence and a bunch of signs all around it, but it's still pretty cool. It's a really beautiful house. This is next door, but I feel like there was a scene filmed in this little driveway area. The next stop is the Sowden House, also known as the Franklin House. And this is where George Hodel and his family lived through the 40s and 50s. This house is really cool, not only because of the history and everything, but because of the actual architecture itself. It was built by Lloyd Wright, who is Frank Lloyd Wright's son, in 1926, and it is just a crazy looking piece of architecture. The entire center of the home is roofless, and in the middle is a big courtyard with a pool. Unfortunately, we won't be able to go into the inside of the house, but it is available for booking if you have a budget for that sort of thing. But it is a dream of mine to go inside this house. And here is the Sowden House. Right now we're headed to the last stop of the day, which is the Biltmore Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. The reason we're going there is because that hotel is supposedly the last place she was seen before she died, and the bar in the hotel lobby has a Black Dahlia cocktail, so I have to try that. So the Biltmore was definitely the best stop of the day. That building is so beautiful and there was so much cool stuff to see inside. The Black Dahlia cocktail was actually amazing. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it because there was Kahlua in it and it was coffee flavored, but I really loved it. And the man who created the drink actually came up to our table and asked if I liked it. And he said he created it 20 years ago and that he's been working at the bar for over 30 years. So that was really cool, and it was so cool getting to meet him and see the man who made the drink. But I highly suggest, if you live in LA, to go visit that hotel because it is just a really cool piece of history, and it was so cool to see all the photos and everything else inside there. In hindsight, I wish we ate there because they had the Impossible Burger with vegan cheese, bun, and mayonnaise. So I definitely will be going back to eat dinner because that is so cool they have that. They also had a vegan / gluten-free ravioli, so I would want to try that as well. I hope you enjoyed that little tour around Los Angeles. If you are interested in learning more about the Black Dahlia, I really suggest diving in and learning all of it. It's so interesting, so fascinating, and I just got done with the podcast and the show, so I really wanted to see all the spots. But I'm gonna go on to read the book next, the Black Dahlia Avenger, and just learn as much as I can. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.